Hi everyone, welcome to this video on defining and modifying tables using SQL. In this video, we'll be covering how to create and manage database tables using SQL, which is a standard language for interacting with relational databases. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to create tables, modify their structure, and insert, update, or delete data within them. Let's get started. Before we dive into the details, let's look at what we'll be covering in this video. By the end, you should be able to create a new table using SQL commands, modify table structures by adding, deleting, or altering columns, insert, update, and delete records within database tables. These are essential skills for working with databases, so let's break them down one by one. Let's start with creating a new table. In SQL, we use the create table statement to define and create a table. Think of a table as a grid where each row represents a record, and each column represents a specific piece of data. You can see on your screen an example of a table called table inventory. Let's break this down. Item ID. This is a unique identifier for each item. It's defined as a CHAR with a 5 in the bracket for character or 5 characters, meaning it's a fixed length string of 5 characters. The not null constraint means this field cannot be left blank, and primary key ensures each value is unique. Item name. This is the name of the item stored in a VAR 25, which is a variable length string of up to 25 characters. Again, it cannot be left blank. CHAR is usually referred to as char, and VAR is usually referred to as varchar. Cost. This is the price of the item, stored as a decimal, which means it can store numbers with up to 10 digits, 2 of which are after the decimal point. So this table will store information about inventory items, with each item having a unique ID, a name, and a cost. Now that we've created a table, let's talk about the different data types you can use in SQL. Data types define what kind of data a column can hold. On your screen, you can see some examples of commonly used SQL data types. Char versus varchar. Char is fixed length, so if you define a character with 5, it will always use 5 characters, even if the data is shorter. Varchar is variable length, so it only uses as much space as needed. Decimal. This is used for numbers with decimal points. The P stands for precision, total digits, and S is the scale, digits after the decimals. For example, decimal 10 with a comma and 2 can store numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Just bear in mind that after the 7, so again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there is usually a full stop or a comma, and then that will be followed by 2 further digits. So that's where we get the 8 and 9. So your final number for the decimal will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, comma, 8, 9. The date. This is used to store dates in the format the year followed by the month and then the day. Understanding data types is crucial because they determine how your data is stored and what operations you can perform on it. Once a table is created, you might need to change its structure. This is where the alter table statement comes in. It allows you to add, delete, or modify columns in an existing table. For example, let's say we want to add a new column called stock level to our table inventory table. You can see from the screen examples of the SQL statements that we could use, such as alter table inventory, add stock level integer. This adds a new column called stock level that stores whole numbers. If we want to delete this column later, we can use alter table inventory, drop column stock level. And if we want to change the data type of the item name column to allow longer names, we can use alter table inventory, modify column, item name, varchar 30, not null. This changes the item column to up to 30 characters. So alter table is a powerful tool for managing your table structures as your database evolves. In a relational database, tables are often linked together. Let's look at an example where we have three tables: inventory, inventory supplier, and supplier. The inventory stores information about items, such as item ID, item name, and cost. Supplier stores information about suppliers, supplier ID, supplier name, and contact info. Inventory supplier links items to suppliers, showing which supplier provides which item and in what quantity. You can see from the example on your screen as to how the inventory supplier table is defined. Foreign keys. These link the inventory supplier table to the inventory and supplier tables. The item ID in inventory supplier must match an item ID in the inventory table, and the supplier ID must match a supplier ID in the supplier table. Primary key. The combination of item ID and supplier ID ensures each record in inventory supplier is unique. This setup allows us to manage complex relationships between items and suppliers efficiently. Now that we've created our tables, let's talk about how to add data to them. We use the insert into statement to add new records. For example, let's add a new item to the inventory table. The insert into statement specifies the table and columns we're adding data to. The values clause provides the actual data for each column. If you're adding data to all columns, you can omit the column names, but it's good practice to include them for clarity. Sometimes you'll need to update existing records. For this, we use the update statement. For example, let's say we want to change the name and cost of the item with item ID B123. We can write the following statement or the following SQL statement as you can see from your screen. The set clause specifies the columns to update and their new values. The where clause identifies which records to update. Without it, all records in the table would be updated, which is usually not what you want. Finally, let's talk about deleting records. We use the delete statement for this. For example, to delete the item with item D B123 from the inventory table, we can use the statements as you can see on your screen. The delete from statement specifies the table to delete from. The where clause identifies which record or records to delete. Without it, all records in the table would be deleted, so be careful. To wrap up, let's recap what we've learnt. You can use create table to define new tables. Alter tables or alter table allows you to modify table structures. Insert into, update, and delete are used to manage data within tables. These are fundamental skills for working with databases, and I hope you found this video useful, which has helped you to make some of these aspects a little bit clearer for you. Thanks for watching and good luck with your studies.